So I feel like we haven't really had a standout horror movie of the year so far. Don't get me wrong, there's been some pretty good movies, and this is one of them. But I mean one of those real standout movies. Like, Talk to Me was pretty good. But apart from that, we've had a lot of flops like The Nun 2 last week, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. All of them have just been pretty average to me. And there's a new one coming to Shudder tomorrow called Elevator Game, so I'll be reviewing that. And then we've got the Saw movie coming up. The Exorcist reboot just looks so bad. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, but it just looks so bad, so I'm not even going to bother to see that. Then we've got Five Nights at Freddy's, so hopefully things will turn around coming into the spooky season. You know, I'm going to have faith that we'll have a few good horror movies this year. But anyway, Haunting in Venice, look, it was pretty good. Hercule and his moustache did a pretty good job of entertaining me. And it had a lot of the things that I like in a good horror movie. It had creepy kids, a haunted house. It had Venice, which I've never really thought to put with a horror movie, but it's so perfect. And it's just got that gothic ambience, which I love. And it just goes to show that not all gothic movies need to be set in England. Like, when you think of gothic horror, you think of England, like Crimson Peak, The Woman in Black, but this goes to show that, yeah, you can have it set anywhere. The Agatha Christie book that this is based upon is called Halloween Party, and it's actually set in England, and for some reason they decided to put it in Venice, and I think that that was a really good choice because it's just got this really spooky ambience. It's so beautiful and haunting, and it's got so much rich history. I've actually been lucky enough to go there once, and yeah, it really is a great location for a horror movie. So in the book, it wasn't actually a supernatural book as far as I know. None of Agatha Christie's books have ever been supernatural, so this definitely feels different than the first two movies, which isn't a bad thing because the Murder on the Orient Express and then the Death on the Nile, I didn't enjoy either of them. I think the Murder on the Orient Express was beautiful visually, but the story was lacking. And as for Death on the Nile, I just didn't enjoy anything about that movie, which is saying something because I love things set in Egypt, but it was full of CGI. The script was really weak. And in all those areas, they did a lot better in this movie. There were still some things I didn't love about it, and we'll go into that later, but overall, it's definitely the best movie in the franchise. You don't need to see the previous two movies or really have much knowledge of Hercule as a character to understand what's going on. So in this one, Hercule investigates a murder while attending a Halloween seance in a supposedly haunted palazzo. And palazzo is like a fancy Italian mansion. Correct me if I'm wrong, Italians who may be watching this. But anyway, so the cast had Riccardo Scamascio, who is the only Italian, I think, in this. So he was the villain in John Wick 2. So I was glad to see more of him. I think he's a pretty good actor. Jamie Dornan, who isn't just known for being Christian Grey, he's also been in a great little BBC crime show called The Fall. And I feel like not a lot of people seem to know about The Fall, and it's a pretty good show. And he's good in it, so I feel like Jamie can actually act. But in this, he just doesn't really get into character. I don't know, he just didn't really, he felt like he was phoning it in, like he wasn't really committed to the part. So Tina Fey, yeah, look, I gave her a chance, but she just felt out of place. It was hard to take her seriously as a serious character. So Michelle Yeoh was really good as the psychic. Jude Hill was really good as the creepy little kid. Kenneth Branagh stole the show as Hercule. He did a great job. When it comes to the visuals, it was all top notch. The costumes, the ambiance, the set design, there was some really good choices with the camera work, especially during the seance. It was all really good. The score was really good. There were some characters that were stereotypes, which, you know, you expect, especially in these sorts of murder mystery movies, and it didn't take away from it. Like, for example, there's the housekeeper that won't stay in the house after dark, like from Hill House.
No one lives any nearer than town. No one will come any nearer than that. In the night. In the dark.
I feel like the murder mystery itself was pretty good. There was some tension and suspense throughout the movie, especially with the mystery. I feel like it's something that could be solved quite easily in certain aspects, because I'm usually really bad at solving these types of things, and even I guessed quite a bit of it. But some of it still surprised me. And it had the whole theme of faith versus logic, which as a Christian can be frustrating because a lot of the times it goes into anti-God sort of territory, bashing Christians and people of faith. And, you know, it didn't really do that too much in this movie, so I was pretty happy with that. So possible spoiler, just a little bit. I don't think it's too bad. But, okay, so when it comes to one of the main themes of the movie, is Hercule actually seeing supernatural activity, or has it all been orchestrated? And we find out that it could be either way. It's open-ended, and I'm so sick of movies doing this. I feel like it's such a cop-out. Like, I just saw this movie, Mother May I, that did the same thing. I keep seeing it again and again, and it just feels like, okay, it can be a really good way to end a movie sometimes, but I feel like it's just been done so much these days. And I feel like it was, in the end, sort of, it was mainly the humans, but then there was some supernatural activity that there was parts of the movie that if you said, okay, it was all just the humans, it wouldn't make sense. Like when he saw this little ghost girl and then someone gets pushed in a way that they couldn't have done themselves. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I would give it a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you thought down below. Please comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.